the galaxy calls, a chant from the stars to come live in the core. We'll jump together, my friends. Every flash of light's another hand to carry the weight. Jump on board into those cars. Oh, we're the wandering souls. We'll come and lend a hand for the distant worlds. Or take a blaster or two, 'cause in those pristine rings there's a fortune for you. We'll work together, my friend, as the mother lode cracks. This might come to an end. But jump on board into those chords. Oh, we're the wandering souls. But come and lend a hand for the distant world. Laughter's fire and jump drives count. A voice comes filled, there's a chatter about. The target's set and the work's in your hands. Come and build a hope in the distant lands. Search those systems till there's nothing to find. Leave the trouble in the bubble way behind. This is your chance as the future unfolds. Come and lend a hand on the distant world.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete. System scan complete.
When the bases fall and the powers call for commanders to carry the load. Through our barriers and the carriers, can they take the seed of a new world? Wishing on a star, we'll make this journey together. Wishing on a star, our only hope is together. When the story flows and the bubble goes, will command us wish for a new world. Can the convoy fly and the whole rats try to keep the fleet from destruction? Wishing on a star, we'll make this journey together. Wishing on a star, our only hope is together. Nothing's gonna change, it starts the fight between us, even on the edge of the night. yes, but we are here. Wishing on a star, we'll make this journey together. Wishing on a star, our only hope is together.
Warning, temperature critical. Fuel scooping complete.
The forum is quiet, not much going on. In some ways that's why I'm writing this song. Nothing new to discuss, just the ongoing grind. As Canon and Co. track the latest Argot find. We're waiting for the next patch to drop. I'm in my latest ship, I'm buying skins from the shop. The inevitable happens, I hear the bell toll. And angry or bored or inept or just droll, post on the forum appeals from a new troll, a new troll, a new troll, yeah, a new troll. An internet ghost, safe in anonymity, has spotted an opening and filled it with glee, spouting flaming buzzwords, invective vitriols, calling on the others to crawl from their holes. And they chant, it's a mile wide, inch deep. It's the mantra they will say. Yeah, it's a mile wide, inch deep. And they will type this tribe all day. Yeah, it's a mile wide, an inch deep. Is that all that you can say? It's a mile wide, inch deep. And your 500 eyes you will play. Yeah, yeah. As my finger hovers over ignore my usual response to this repetitive bore, I see this pointless post has poked at a nerve of the famous white knights, and they respond with such verve, forgetting it's just what the troll wants. But there are the inaccurate statements and grammar and fonts. The post bits of speed as contributors clash, questioning integrity, parenthood, and even mental health standings in a globalized World Wide Web impersonal shit slinging match. And they say it's a mile wide, inch deep, and it's the mantra they will say. Yeah, it's a mile wide, inch deep, and they will type this tribe all day. Yeah, it's a mile wide, inch deep. Is that all that you can say? Oh, it's a mile wide, inch deep, and your 500 eyes you will play. I watch the usual parry and riposte unfold, the same old face that beats a promise of old. Moral high ground being taken by either side, some eating popcorn just along from the ride. Yet most of the nights are so lost in corresponding, haven't noticed that the troll hasn't even responded. The account set its purpose, the forums or Twitter, they've forgotten what was posted that had turned them all so fervent and angry and so bitter. It's a mile wide, an inch deep, are the posts I copy and paste. It's a mile wide, an inch deep, for all that lovely salt I can taste. You can't
Are you a commander who's tired of interstellar injustice?
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
And the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
and the fantastic
Community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the Orange Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads. A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 505 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite Dangerous and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix Defire, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, otherwise known as Colin Ford. And joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have our SRV Banksy, that's Commander Alec Turner.
Evening, folks. Much like The Cure, I'm back.
Wow.
We also have our Head of Health and Safety, Commander Edelweiss, otherwise known as Ben Moss Woodward.
Shouldn't that be more like COVID, you're back?
You know when you're not welcome.
We also have our Staff Liaison Officer, Commander Psychic.
Right, okay. You're going to need to give me brownie points if I'm right. Just like The Cure, Friday I'm in love?
Oh, very good.
Yes!
I mean, it is Tuesday, but I'll let it slide.
Listen, my guy.
Otherwise, it would have been mwah, chef's kiss.
What happened on Tuesday again? I can't remember now.
Oh, no, now we're looking up on the internet while we're doing this.
Tuesday, Wednesday, fall apart, something like that.
Oh, that's about right.
Thursday, it's Friday.
Break my heart.
I'm googling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Saturday, wait.
Tuesday's grey.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
true.
Tuesday just grey.
And Wednesday too.
Also heart attack and stay in bed.
Meanwhile, if you need a cure for this, you can join us live. We're hanging out in game. I think Ben's somewhere, aren't you?
I'm currently engineering a party type 10.
Cool.
And I will be heading towards Lave in a minute.
We don't have the Chris Mark IV with us today because he's doing something more interesting. So you won't meet him in the bar, unfortunately. But if you can't get to us in game, you can always join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live and click on the live chat, or you can go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio or look us up on YouTube because we're broadcasting there too. So let's have a quick go around the crew, see how everybody is. We'll start with Claire this week. How have you been?
Hi, I'm good. What have I been up to? I don't know. I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, what have you been up to this week? I played some D&D on a different channel, and I was really nervous about it, and it was really fun. It went down really well. I didn't kill my party, but they took a little while to figure out the big twist about the whole thing. So that was a little bit of a panic. What else have I been up to? played some No Man's Sky, played some Elite, obviously, did some buckyballing, did a lot of watching people going really fast through tunnels. That's been really fun. That's been really, really fun verifying things. So yeah, it's been it's been kind of a quiet week, but it's been nice. It's been just like nice and chill. I've not been ill or anything. It's just been fun.
Yeah, for not being ill.
Yeah. Okay then. Since we've got a happy psyche, I'll move on to a miserable Ben.
Give me a moment though. Give it a little bit of time, and I can get real mad. It's not an issue.
No, I'm fairly happy. I think.
I think I'm happy. Question mark.
No, I'm just trying to think what I've done since last week. So the main thing that I remember is basically Friday and Saturday watching every single episode of WandaVision, and then into Agatha House of Harkness with my son.
Called Agatha all along, Ben. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, it was Agatha House of Harkness then. Yeah, it's changed. The names keep changing, which is a thing. That's deliberate.
Have they dropped the entire series for that, or is it just?
No, we've got the first 3 episodes.
Oh, right.
And my son's my son loved Wanda, but wanted to watch it again. And then he was like, "Why the hell have we only got 3 episodes of Agatha?" I was like,
It's
"Okay,
really
I'll
good.
take this as a win." So that's the most memorable thing I think I've done. I'm still pushing ahead in Dragon Age Inquisition. I've been playing some Elite. I think I played an hour of Star Citizen the other night.
Yes.
And yeah, basically showing Colin this is a hangar, and then this is an elevator, and this is a queue for getting into the space station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more on that later.
That's really been about it. Everything else has kind of been work where I'm having lots of fun going, well, this language model is about 90% sure that these German words are English. I was like, oh, gee, thanks, guys.
Oh dear.
So that's kind of been my life.
Excellent. Well, we'll move back. Welcome back, Commander Turner.
Hello all.
Hello. What have you been up to apart from stuffing yourself silly?
Yeah, I was going to say I've got a backlog of things to tell you about. What have I been up to? Yeah, I had a lovely family meal, which is why I missed Lave Radio 2 weeks ago because it was my birthday, give or take a bit. We went out for a big meal, and I got stuffed.
Stuffed.
I did get stuffed. Yes. I went to see the film about Lee Miller with Kate Winslet, which was bloody marvelous and had me in tears, but was a terrific film.
Oh, good.
Although not necessarily an easy watch, but it was a really interesting, good film. And then last week I was away because we took a short break down to Devon. We went back to this hotel we like going to called Manor House, where they've got loads of sporting and crafting facilities. So what did I do? This time I did swimming, archery, I did some macrame. I did a thing called new curling, which is a bit like bowling, but you push a sort of wheeled skittle around. I did some string and pin art. I played lots of pool and snooker, 10-pin bowling, basketball, loads. It was good. And I ate and drank a lot as well. So it was a really nice break.
Excellent.
We're gonna go back at Christmas, I think, again.
Yes.
So doing all the cooking and washing up yourself. Just go to a hotel. Anyway.
Yes.
Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, we've got those kind of game places up here in Manchester as well. So for the office day out, we all just ended up playing a load of crazy golf and pretend curling, which was weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Crazy golf. Yeah, they had that as well.
What's pretend curling?
Well, it's basically it's like they've got a kind of bowling alley, but instead of having balls, you've got pretend stones with wheels on them, and you try and do the same as curling to get it into the centre of the square.
And you don't have to brush, or at least on
Centre
that
of
game
the circle, rather.
You just reminded me of another thing. I also spent some time, quite a bit of time actually, playing marbles with my kids.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah. That was wholesome, wasn't
years since I've done that. And talking about years and passing, yes. So I have fallen into a bit of a Cure nostalgia whirlwind because I got wind of the fact that the Cure are back after 16 years. They have a new album coming out on the 1st of November. and I bloody love The Cure, and I've and I started listening to them again because it's been a very long time since I listened to them, and my God, I've just fallen into such a nostalgia trip.
Oh, you've gone goth again, haven't you?
Oh God, I've just got songs going round and round and round my head the whole
You're going to be
time now.
painting your nails black and dyeing your hair black.
Yeah, I'll be
Not wrong with
backcombing
that,
before
mate.
you know it.
Not wrong with that.
No.
Bit of backcombing.
I wouldn't
spray.
I wouldn't have said the Cure are goth, though, would you?
Well, yes. I mean, they are the archetypal goth band, to be honest.
You got the sister.
The
More
archetype.
got the Sisters of Mercy, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Pretty much, but yeah, no, it's good to see them back. And they've got a track out already, and I have to say, Robert Smith's voice has not changed at all. It's extraordinary. His voice has not aged. Maybe it was old to start with, but it's beautiful stuff. So
Has he actually lost weight? Because I was worried about him last time I saw him because he was the size of a blimp.
Yeah, he's larger than people do sometimes get larger later in life, don't they? He's larger than he was, but he's all right. I love Robert Smith. He seems like a very nice man, actually, genuinely nice person. In game, all sorts actually. This is sort of in game, but I cashed in from justabout.com today.
Oh yeah.
I've checked my bank account, and yes, I got $51 from my last month or so's worth of contributions to Just About, which means, if my sums are right, I can get myself 70,000 ARCs. So this is my new plan now. I'm going to contribute stuff to Just About and then spend my winnings on ARCs. And I think I can live with myself if I do that.
Nice.
Seeing as money came from Frontier in the first place, you know,
Why don't you spend your money on beer?
Just About pay me, and then I pay it back to Frontier, and I get loads of free cosmetics. It seems good to me. Seems like a good deal.
Yeah, but you're still putting up effort for free, aren't you?
Well, you say effort, but it's exactly what I used to do on Twitter. In fact, I'm just posting old stuff. Every time they post a bounty, I'm like, oh yeah, I've got a video about that, or I've got a screenshot about that, and I just repost it, and then they give me $5. It's easy money. I hope they're not listening to this. I carried on with my on-foot engineering, and I've actually got my night vision now, which is a bit of a slog, to be honest, because you have to unlock Odin Geiger via Jude Navarro, and you have to get to Jude Navarro via Terra Velasquez, I think, and so you have to go through all the on-foot engineers to get your night vision.
Yeah,
but I finally have it.
Oh, lovely! You're ahead of me then, because that's where I was going next.
Right,
but,
yeah, it was a singular goal. One thing I did discover in my sort of learnings, this is a bit of a facepalm moment, but you know, various engineers want things like, I don't know, give me 10 financial projections to unlock this engineer. Turns out you can buy these flipping things from fleet carriers half the time, which I'd completely failed to appreciate that players can just sell this stuff. So yeah, if you're banging your head against the wall trying to unlock an engineer and trying to figure out where to get something like genetic research or something, then just go and look on Anara, and the chances are somebody will just sell it to you.
And the ironic thing is, how I got the first engineer was that I was supposed to hand over 10 lots of something to a bartender. The bartenders on the fleet carriers still count. So basically, you sell 1 ton, buy it back. Sell a 1 ton, buy it back. So there you go. That's your 10.
Yeah, I've heard that trick. A lot of people have been telling me to do that trick, which is all very well if you have a fleet carrier, but I don't yet. Speaking of not having a fleet carrier, so because we were away, I basically only got to do. So I had day 1 of the Shinrata attack to do stuff in game. Was that the Saturday? And what I did is I went to there was a bucketball race, and I wanted to get some runs in before I went away. That seemed of utmost importance.
I agree, 100%.
Sod saving Shinrata Desra. But I did want to go and see, so I went to Shinrata Desra to have a look, and I saw some Thargoids, and I got ganked about 3 times. And I thought, yeah, this is going down about how I expected it to. And then I went buckyballing, and I sort of kicked myself a bit because I hadn't really appreciated all the lovely module rewards that you could get very easily, and the huge amounts of money you could get, of which I got neither. But I do have my pride, and I did rather well at the buckyball, so I'll take that.
Fair enough.
And I am now back to doing some. Now the bucketball's over, I'm going to do some Elite Dangerous adventures. And I've
Are you
done a
trying to
couple
speak
already.
French?
I gave
I
it a
didn't
shot.
understand it at all. I just didn't get it. You would have had to have like included some funky music or something.
Yeah, I'll do the funky music next time.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah, I've done a couple. I did one yesterday and I did one today. They're so good. They're so good. I'm loving it. Highly recommend. Not that we haven't already. And that's me. That'll do.
Excellent. For myself, I've done a bit of Final Fantasy 16. Absolutely loving that game. Really getting into the world and the story, and actually deciding that I don't like using mouse and keyboard for these games. The controller works so much better. So that's what I've done. And to that point, I went back to play Final Fantasy VII Remake with a controller and found it to be a lot better again. So, I mean, I know these games were originally designed for the controller, and I should have realized that because they don't port it to keyboard and mouse very well. So, yeah, I'm probably going to go through all my Final Fantasy games and play it with a controller instead. So,
It's
yeah.
almost as daft as Psychic playing the same game 3 times round, or 7 times round, or whatever.
Just 3 times? Who plays a game 3 times round? I played Baldur's Gate 6 times round, and then suddenly I've decided to play Mass Effect, and what are we now? I haven't played in September. I barely played Mass Effect in September. I managed to get through a whole month. I think I might be breaking. Have I read any fan fiction, or have I done anything else to do with Mass Effect in this time? Yes, I have. But I haven't played it. I did reinstall all different mods though, so it's only a matter of time.
Brilliant.
Excellent.
Incidentally, Colin, you just reminded me, because I did listen back to the shows I missed. It did amuse me, given how much grief we gave the new space game, whose name I've forgotten. We gave it loads of grief over the fact that people were saying you had to play 40 hours before it got good or something. And I found it highly...
12 hours.
Yeah, that was it, right. So I found it highly amusing that you were raving about Final Fantasy and then basically said to Ben that it gets good in Final Fantasy 13, which I found hilarious.
Ben was actually just asking which was the best Final Fantasy to on board
No,
with.
I was there. I was genuinely there, and you went the first 12 games on that great. When you get to the 13th, though.
Stick with it. It's really good in Final Fantasy 13.
Okay, if you want to carry on with that, that's up to you. Meanwhile,
we're only quoting you, Colin.
Meanwhile, in the wonderful world of Elite Dangerous, I've been basically module shopping. I think I spent most of Saturday just reconfiguring my build for Thargoid fighting after the lessons I learnt at Shinrata Dedra last week. So I've now got to the thermal lasers on all my anti-Thargoid ships, which I should have had from the beginning. And yeah, so I'm doing a couple of missions. So that's really been it. But I've been chilling out playing Elite Dangerous. I haven't been actually... You know how you want a relaxing session, so you know how you play Elite Dangerous in a certain way, so you don't bother with combat zones or anything like that. You just chill out, you go exploring, or you just do a couple of I don't know, delivery missions or things like that. Things that won't stress you out. That's what I've been doing. Just chilling in Elite Dangerous. So
nice. And again, the French funky music adventures, very good for chilling, actually.
Yeah, I have still got to do a single one of those. It's on the list. Just still got to do it. Anyway, let's move on to the development news. What have the devs said this week? Well, obviously, we had a big FU this week. And Frontier Unlocked. And they talked about quite a few things. The first thing was Powerplay, which we'll probably be talking about a lot later. And also the fact that they've got the new ship, the Mandalay. Now they showed off the Mandalay in all its glory, flying about the place, and I think a lot of people in the chat were very happy with it.
Yeah.
What was your opinion of the footage of the ship?
It's a dream, isn't it? That ship is, I mean, apart from if you want to grumble about the lack of a fighter bay, but that ship is a dream. What I really liked on the visuals is that they addressed two sort of major concerns. Whether they were already addressed or whether they sort of listened to feedback, I don't know. But the fact that we were all complaining about the box underneath.
Yes.
I love how they've sculpted it. They've kind of put these grooves in it, and it looks elegant now. It looks beautiful. Even, it's fab. I love it. And that glass window on the floor, that's
that was my thing.
Nice touch.
Just like, because there were so many responses were just like, hey, you're saying, oh, there's lights pointing down on the ground, so you can actually see where you're going to be landing and all of that sort of stuff. And half of the people watching it were like, yeah, but if it's got the Mamba's cockpit, the Mamba doesn't have anything on the ground, so those lights are wasted unless you go into a third-person camera view. And yet, no, there it is, this glorious, tiny little floor, little glass floor, which makes all the difference. It's brilliant. And it's fucking stunning as well. Such a beautiful ship. Like, so unlike anything else that we've got as well. Like, yeah, you can tell that it's the Mandalay's you can tell that it's the Mamba's cockpit, but like some Americans will get really stressed with me for saying the wrong thing in a moment. But you can say that you can see that it's the Mamba's cockpit, but it's just so different. I really, 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 really like it. It's going to become my entire personality. It's going to be the only ship I fly. I love it so much.
Okay.
It will turn into. I use the Crate Phantom for everything at the moment. I have a Crate Phantom that's got holistic shields and barely any hull, and it jumps for days, and it's great. And it's gonna take over from that. It's gonna be great.
Excellent, Ben.
Great.
Do you think you'll be good for bounties as well?
I would switch to a Corvette to do bounties. And also bonds as well. Both of those would probably have a Corvette involved.
Bounties.
Both of them, really.
Bonds and bounties.
I feel like they're kind of interchangeable as it is. I'm not sure it matters, really.
Oh, I know. It's just so quaint when we say it, isn't it?
I know. We're just the quaintest. Okay, that's enough.
A serious thing is, do you actually think there's any chance that the Mamba might get a glass bottom?
No.
They ain't going to change that.
I was thinking after seeing its glass bottom, giving one to the Mamba might be nice as well.
You probably end up looking down at the front landing gear or something, won't you? I don't know. But no, it's not as simple as that, is it? I don't think.
I mean, I must admit, it's the biggest front landing pad I have ever seen. The entire bottom of it is just this huge landing pad that just comes out.
There is one thing odd about the Mandalay's landing gear, and I don't know if it's unique in this or not. But quite a lot of the ships, all of them? No, probably not all of them. But quite a lot of them have these kind of skids on the bottom of their landing gear.
Yeah.
And I know we all land.
To me what a skid is? What do you mean by that? Sorry,
like the two things on the front of a snowplow, or like a snowmobile. You know what a snowmobile?
Right, yeah, that's sort of like slices into it a little bit.
Yeah, like the front of a ski or something. They're a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
And I could be wrong, but I think pretty much all the ships they face. Now, I know we land vertically, but they sort of face forwards, and it appeals to the model in my head that you can sort of skid a bit because these landing pad things face forwards. But on the Mandalay, the rear landing gear are both kind of like skids, but they point out at 45-degree angles, so there's no way in which they could operate as skids.
Does the one in the front, is it facing backwards as well? Am I looking at that? I'm pretty sure
it does look like it's back. It does look the back one faces backwards.
Yeah, I thought the front one.
The back one's kind of face backwards, but at 45-degree angles.
They're at a wonky angle, and then the one at the front is the little like lippy bit that you would expect at the front of a ski is sort of at the back. Maybe they're expecting you to come in at a funny angle.
I don't know. It just slightly disturbs my
Until
Well,
we get the
they're going to make a
auto docking and it
Mark
lands
video.
backwards. 100%, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I must admit, I am looking at that and I'm thinking, yeah, that looks nice. But then they released all the internals and the weapons for it, and then they're going, that's not an explorer, that's a fighter. I mean, they've got what, 4 mediums and two small.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more heavily armed than an asp. And most of the medium ships.
It's a lot,
And
isn't it? It seems more than necessary. But are we
Yeah.
complaining about that? Really?
Well, they say it's an explorer, but to me that looks like a fighter, and it's unless basically it's as fragile as Donald Trump's ego,
No, 'cause
then
it's got fairly good armor, I heard.
well,
I'm
then
going to
it's
look at the. I'm
it
going to
sounds
look at
to me
the
like it's a
Q&A about all the facts about it.
yeah, because it sounds to me like it's a fighter.
Maybe they're saying one thing, so they're branding it. As far as anything they're going to say out loud, they're branding it as an explorer. But they know that we're going to do all sorts of other things with it, and
well, they will
and they're
anyway.
just letting
Of
us.
course we
They're
will.
saying, well, if you want to fight with it, we might as well give it some guns and then let people have fun with it. Why not?
With an absolutely stonking jump range, I think. Right, for those of us, show of hands, maybe just me who just don't explore at all in the slightest.
Mhm.
I feel like it's quite nice to have a bubble jumper with a little bit of firepower behind it. I
Yeah.
don't know what the Crate Phantom has as far as it.
Oh,
Everything
the
that I've seen of it so
Phantom.
far makes it comparable to the Phantom. But I don't know. I can't even remember what the Phantom's got on it in terms of.
2 large, 2 medium.
Okay.
But I always thought the
What does
Crate
this
Phantom
have?
4 medium, 2 small.
Okay, so comparable then.
Yeah, I suppose. It's just I didn't really consider the Crate Phantom as an explorer. I normally just use it as a pottering about ship.
It gets like if you like my pottering about Crate Phantom has got almost as big of jump range as my Anaconda that I never use because it can get in the bin. But it's if this is better, if this has a better jump range than my Crate Phantom without me having to. Or a comparable jump range to my Crate Phantom without me having to sort of most of my shields on the Crate Phantom are imaginary at best for it to get that jump range. So I'm kind of excited about this being something that would then become another all-rounder for me.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised. It will definitely outclass the Phantom, surely. I mean, the way they've been talking about this jump range is.
Okay,
It's whether or not you have to sacrifice some stuff for it, basically.
Okay, I'm going to bring Ben in, and then the Chris Mark V would like to talk about it as well.
I just want to actually check that when you guys actually do proper exploring ships, do you bother to put weapons onto them?
No.
I know when I've gone properly exploring, I've deliberately, and also I do this in my trading ships too, actually. I deliberately remove weapons from them to remove the temptation of me going, oh, I'll be fine.
No, and to save weight and get more jump range, which has always been the.
That as well, but I know myself that if I've got a couple of pop guns and some Corvette that's fully engineered comes and says, I'm going to have a go at you, the idiot in me will be like, oh, I can take you. And the next thing I realise, my Explorer ship with like a couple of pop guns and tissue paper for a hull is going to be dead. So I always just remove these things to remove the temptation.
Yes,
I wasn't sure what anyone else does.
Just take that as all the pilots who turned up to the Gnosis in paper thin Explorer ships.
Yeah.
That's a fringe case, though.
It is a bit of an edge.
Yeah, Chris.
Yes, so I'm glad that Frontier clearly listened to Lave Radio and listened to our suggestion of making the bottom of it glass bottom, so we can see out
Taking
of.
that credit, are we?
Goddamn right I am. That's my idea. The other, I think the interesting thing is this has a size 5 FSD, right? Which,
Yes.
Everything's
Yeah.
5, isn't it? Apart
Okay.
from the life support.
So, if it's going to outjump the Conda, its hull mass must be really low. Which probably means
Yes.
it's not going to be very good armoured.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume that's how it works. I don't know enough.
Yeah, I thought that's how it worked as well. So, yeah, I mean, it says that it's supposed to take on the jump Conda. Personally, I think it's slots. You will probably get a good explorer build out of that, but those slots can also be used for something else, especially with the amount of work. I don't know. I'm 50-50. There's no doubt that the looks of the thing is gorgeous. I'm not dissing the looks of the ship whatsoever. I'm just a little bit. You've put too many guns on an explorer vessel.
I'm just a bit suspicious about it'll outjump a jump Conda, because I'm wondering what jump Conda build they base that off, because the jump Conda requires you doing some ridiculous stuff, doesn't it? Like dumping.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point, actually.
How have they measured this? What's their yardstick?
Have they measured it against what the community considered to be a jumper Conda, or have they just gone, well, let's put let's grade 5, let's
grade 5
D-class
everything.
everything and see what the jump range is.
Yeah.
And you're right, you do have to seriously strip an anaconda to turn it into a jumper Conda.
Yeah, but the jump Conda, you get what, 80 to 90 light years? So that's
once you know that.
Yeah, I mean the thing about this is the thing about exploring. What I've found is I'm actually enjoying exploring more with a ship that's got small jump range on it.
Because you got more opportunities to find cool shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the thing with exploring. You want a long jump range to get where you're going, but then you want to turn on economic route plotting, frankly.
Yeah.
That's in the very, very few times that I've done it. That's how I've done it. Is like bamfed out somewhere where it looks like it might be a little bit off the beaten track, and then just done spirals or gone back and forth in slightly different directions using economic plotting. But like in the very, very rarest of occasions that I leave the bubble.
Well, if you use the app then that records your route, then it's only a matter of time till TTP. So
too late.
It's too. Yeah, of course it's too late. But have you personally TTP? Yeah, so that's the thing.
That's true. I haven't.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I've drawn a letter C, but that's about it.
We're not going to even explain that, and I think it's better if we should. Yes. So rewards for saving thing Shinrata Dedra has been sent out to people. Because has anybody received the rewards? Because I thought you had to pick them up from the rescue ship.
Yeah, probably. You probably have to.
Oh, I should have done that before coming to Lave, but oh well.
I don't think I've logged in since I've been out.
I got mine. I was in a completely different location. They were just in stored modules. But it looks like if you're in the top 100, you got 3 anyway. If you're in the top 50, you got 3. Nice. In the top whatever, got whatever.
Got 4. The top 25% got 4.
Yeah. I wasn't at the rescue ship. I haven't got the money yet. I don't think that'll go until it finishes, right?
I thought it finished ages ago.
I haven't been able to cash it in.
Isn't it just didn't it just run for a week?
Yeah, right. Well, 4 days, but
well, no, it ran for the entire week because you couldn't fucking finish it, Colin.
The money automatic.
We're not going to start that soapbox again. We've got soapboxes for later. Yeah. Apparently, well, I collected my money straight away. That money will still be there for you.
Yeah.
For forever until you collect it. But it's the rewards. I think you've only got another week to collect them.
Oh shit! I should log in.
Where do we get them from?
The
Is that
rescue
for the
ship, I
mega
should
ship? The
imagine.
mega ship, yeah.
The mega ship.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Colin, what do you mean? If you don't collect them, you don't lose them.
Don't you?
No,
No.
they're just in stored
I'd be
modules.
very surprised if you did.
All right. Is it? Are they in the store modules?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought
think,
you
I
actually
think they go into
physically
stored
pick 'em
modules
up.
on the mega ship. So, but you don't have to fly there and get them. Of course, you can just transfer them to wherever you.
Ah, right. I've got to go and see what rewards I've got then, because I surprisingly made the 50%, which I didn't realise I had.
Well, it didn't matter because
On
you
the
would have got 3
money-
anyway.
Like when you complete a community goal, in theory, you're supposed to fly back to the station where you picked it up, and you kind of turn it in a bit like a mission. I believe you don't even have to
You can
do that.
hand
It
it in
used to be
anyway
the
now.
case that if you leave it like a couple of weeks, you just get it anyway.
I'm sure. I think you could hand community goals in anywhere now.
Oh,
Or is
maybe
it
you
just
can.
can you just
No,
fly
I
Used to be the
normally
case
anywhere?
that you had to go back, didn't you, to kind of.
I can't remember now.
I
Claim your
normally
reward.
just leave them to fester. It's not like it's the taking part that counts.
It
yeah,
is.
but I think it certainly used to be the case that you'd get it anyway. You know, it would after a couple of weeks, it would just automatically kind of.
I
They
mean, they've got the
reward
problem.
bone idleness by just providing you with the rewards anyway. Love
Yeah.
that. Love that for me specifically.
Also, I guess it kind of sucks if you decide after you've done the CG to go out exploring, then you'd lose everything if they didn't give it to you and they got rid of it.
Okay. Cool. Lovely.
Yes. Right. Shall we move on then to the community corner?
You've
Oh,
missed
hello.
bullet point 3, which is being asked about in the stream
yes.
chat, coincidentally.
This is the fact that they put some promotional material out, and it looked as if there were Thargoids in Colonia.
Yeah. What do we all think? Is it a bad choice of screenshot, or are they signposting?
I don't think they're signposting.
No, I don't
There was a lot of conversation. There's conversation around the Thargon in the upper left of the thing, and that it was the wrong color of red. I shit you not. Somebody said that in my chat. It was the wrong color of red to be in its aggro mode, and I'm just like, yeah, well, they used a fucking filter, didn't they? That's how it works. It's point. So it does look like Colonia. It genuinely does look like Colonia. I don't think it's anything because Jax on its own, just something called Jax on its own, is that anything that is actually in Colonia? Because isn't it Jax Station?
Jax Station is leftover lore from from I think it's Frontier.
But is there a system called Jax then? Or is it just because the thing that's locked on is Jax on its own and not like Jax Station or anything like that? So is the system called Jax? Is there a place called just
See what you're
Jax?
saying. I hadn't
No,
thought about that.
it's Jax Station in Colonia. And I'm sure
But
Colonia
what
is
Claire's saying, Ben, I hadn't really thought about this myself, is in the screenshot in the HUD, in that little panel in the left where it says what system you're in and where you're near and whether you're in deep space or not, it just says Jax. Not Jax Station.
It's just
Jax.
So, well,
And I don't know if that's even a thing.
I'm calling shenanigans.
Yeah.
100% it's shenanigans without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
but it is Jack Station in the Colonia system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but as usual, the Elite Dangerous community has decided that is a capital offence, and that there's a whole load of salt suddenly appearing over one photo.
So I've used the power of Inara, and there is no system called Jax.
Okay, so apparently, according to Andy Pipkin in chat, it says Jax because that's the ruling faction over there. Is there just a faction called Jax then?
That would be the power of Inara.
Yes.
I'm on it. The power of Inara compels you.
There's a minor faction called Jax.
Right, okay. Oh, so that's what it is then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
Are they just trolling us? Do they know that we're
100%.
going to dig into this and they just do it to troll us?
I hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah, you've got to remember this comes from the same people that put blue Smarties on the desk just to wind the community up. They put blue Smarties.
No.
They put blue
No, they
Smarties in
definitely-
triangles on the desk.
I will counteract with that. I will say that no, Bruce was just fiddling with shit and just put blue Smarties on the desk in a triangle. And then Tom decided that it would be a good idea to start putting triangles into things to fuck with people. That is legitimately how it happened. And it was just Bruce just, you know, when you've got something in front of you and you start to dick about with it, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You mess about with it in your hands. That's literally all Bruce was doing. And Tom saw the community reaction and went, we need to do something about this.
We need to do
So
more
it
of
was.
this.
Yeah, to fuck with people. This is how it works. It's great.
You do realise that because of that, people went out to the Guardian ruins again just to see if something new had
Of course they did.
You make that sound like it's a
Of course they
problem.
did.
So now people are flying all the way out to Colonia with heavily armed anti-combat, AXI ships.
I like that idea. I think AX combat in Colonia would be beautiful.
I ain't flying any AX ships out there.
Yeah, but you keep going on about having a.
I've got an account in I've got an account in Colonia.
Can you not get your fleet carrier out there?
Yeah, I could, but I'd have to log in every 15 minutes to replot the jumps. It's not exactly a busy process or a hands-off procedure. No, fuck that. I ain't doing that. Balls to that. And also, I've been to Colonia. It's all right. I want to go again.
Pretty. If somebody said
it.
I could see myself if there was anti-Xenos, if there was Thargoids doing stuff in Colonia and somebody said, I'm putting on a bus leaving from Sol on Friday.
Going out.
Then I could see myself getting on the bus on Friday and getting off it again on Sunday or whatever.
I was going to say, I'd go to Colonia maybe, but I want some bloody hard guarantees that the CG was going to last more than 2 days.
Yes,
it won't though. It definitely won't. That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah. Oh dear. So yes, now that we've set those things to rest, Alec, do you want to tell me what the community has been up to?
And now to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
Cool. Watcha. Yeah, sure. Why not? Actually, the very first thing, although I know what it is, I'm gonna, I guess, hand over to somebody else to explain what the Lave Radio bingo card is.
I can do it. So it's not finished yet. It's still a work in progress. We're still doing shit with it. But there is a website that Chris Mock 4 did when he was procrastinating rather than packing for his holiday. That he made a. He made a bingo card. There's been suggestions that have been coming through from various people in the Discord. Come and join our Discord because we've got you can give suggestions for a bingo card. I don't have a command for the bingo card yet, but like if you want to listen live and play about with the bingo card, absolutely do, because it's really fun. We're going to make it look prettier. We're aware that it looks like a text document at the moment, but we're not sorry, but it is going to be a thing. Anyway, yeah, Lave Radio live stream bingo, because we're leaning in.
Excellent.
Might as well too.
Can't wait. Right. Next up, we have a couple of videos. You showed a couple last week, actually. So I forgot. The other thing I missed was the wonderful 40th anniversary celebrations on the Friday. I think you already featured a couple of videos last week of some of the beautiful stuff that you got up to out there. So there's a couple more. There's a really cool one from the Storm called Elite Dangerous 40th Anniversary Celebrations, and Epiphus dropped a fab one today. It's about 5 minutes long, and he's got music from Takoso on it. Again, 40th celebrations at Lave. I wanted to ask about some of the stuff that you did at Lave, actually. So the thing where you've got loads of ships all kind of around the inside of the docking port ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing you did. That's beautiful. Were all those ships stationary?
Yep.
Brilliant. And the station was rotating around them, because the way the video is presented, it looks like everyone's flying in this beautiful circle, and it just looks mwah. It's so cool. I
Well,
love it.
it started with everybody stationary, but people did start circling the docking port, if you see what I mean.
And who organised all the stuff that you were doing outside Lave? Because I have to say, it's brilliantly organised. It looked like everyone was.
I think it just spontaneously
organic,
happened, most of
wasn't it? It was.
Nice.
It was just like we just faffed about for 3 hours. It
I
was
think you're-
great.
I think Claire's got it right saying it was all organic.
Cool. Well, in these videos, if you watch these 2 videos and the ones you did last week, there's some really nicely coordinated stuff. It's lovely, especially that circle of ships around the mail slot. Lovely
And
stuff.
the organic stuff wasn't just us saying, "Hey, let's go and do this." It was other people in the chat saying,
Yeah.
"Colin's outside. Let's all group up around him."
Brilliant.
Yes,
And make him feel
surrounded by a
uncomfortable.
ball of cobras at one point.
See how low we can make Colin's frame rate actually get.
At one point, it was down to about 4.
Amazing, incredible.
It's game over. It goes to 0.
Yeah.
Just like with Odyssey launch, exactly like that.
Relive Odyssey. Next up, we've got a high wake cartoon following the footsteps. I think we had one a couple of weeks ago of the typical, what was it, an Eagle pilot. So this is a typical DBX pilot. It's very funny. I won't give anything away, but I really like these typical pilot videos where he just picks a kind of stereotype of what kind of person flies that ship and why. And this is a really good one. We have a new blog from Nicey on their attempts at popping scouts outside Shinrata. I think, like a lot of people, discovering that being cold is the secret. But there's a few things they've learned, and these are really nice little blogs. Actually, they're a really easy read, and they're really good fun. Just sort of pointing out experiences. Next up is a thing I threw in. This is justabout.com again, but they've done another of their kind of curated posts where they've gathered together all the feedback that they had from players of the game and sort of turned it into like an article. I don't think we've featured this one before. This is the Ultimate Elite Dangerous Starter Guide. It's mammoth and it's fantastic. It's like pages and pages of stuff that everyone needs to know when they first start Elite, but it's really nicely presented, and because it's written by all of us experienced people who are desperate to get their bounties from just about, it's good content, it's good experience content as well, so it's good stuff.
I mean, apart from the fact they're paying you, Alec, I mean, do you feel that Just About's improving?
I mean, aside from my initial negative reaction born purely from suspicion of these things, I think it's been great, actually. I think it's been great from the outset, pretty much, apart from a couple of missteps with, the ship that they included. But it was mostly, certainly from my part, just suspicion, which I think has turned out to be, as far as I can see, unfounded. I think it's great. I really like it.
Excellent.
And the money's real.
The money is real. Yeah. The more important thing, the money is real.
Next up, Beetlejude. Funnily enough, I think this might have been for a Just About bounty, actually, because they put a thing out asking for people to create infographics. And Beetlejude made this lovely bit of artwork. It's basically a list of some of the top materials and minerals in Elite Dangerous, like a guide to their credit rating, with some little icons. But it's really nice. I really like it. It's really cute. It's got some great pictures on it. It makes me want to go and collect them all now.
Got to catch them all.
Indeed. Right, we have a bunch of videos. The usual kind of things. We've got a fantastic music video called "My Journey," an anniversary tribute from Rixa. Some really nice sort of fast cut editing, and a very stylish sort of Elite overview of and I think there's a lot of videos have come out in the last week or so just celebrating 40 years of Elite or 10 years of
Elite Dangerous,
yeah. And this is one. It's a really nice example. The next video I threw in is from Duck. It's lovely in its own right. So it's. I wanted to feature it because just as a little plug for the Burr Pit, really. Among all the other things that the Burr Pit do, it's a really sociable Discord. If any new players are looking for a sociable Discord to hang out in, and they do all sorts of fun events. And one of the things they do occasionally is these pit trips. I can never make them; it's always slightly the wrong time of day for me. But they'll just go somewhere random. Well, not random. The Burrs will have picked somewhere good to go. I think they tend to keep them secret. And then they basically take everyone out on a sort of day trip to somewhere in the galaxy. And this place, I need to go here because it looks stunning, but it's just the most extraordinary collection of rings, sort of all at different angles to each other. You know, there's about 3 or 4 ringed planets, but all at sort of 90-degree angles to each other. So it looks extraordinary. And this is Duck flying through. Turns out he's flying over just a very rocky landscape. In fact, if any Hooners are out there, it looks like a definitely Hoonable landscape. But because of where it's positioned in all these rings and with the bright light of the star, it's surreal. It's possibly the most alien landscape I've ever seen in Elite because it almost looks like the landscape is like asteroids packed so closely that they formed a solid mass. And I kind of had to do a double take before I realized it was a planet and not sort of in the rings. So yeah, amazing, worth a look. And yeah, just a shout out for the Burr Pit trips because they're really good fun. Last video I wanted to shout out was from Exorcist, and it's called All About the Mandalay from a professional explorer's perspective. So Commander Exorcist is very much an explorer. That's his thing. That's, I think, how he would define himself in terms of an elite dangerous player. Great content creator. But so he goes exploring in an anaconda, and so he's given a sort of fairly insightful perspective on the Mandalay from that perspective. You know, from the perspective of a real explorer who is currently using the ship that the Mandalay sets out to beat. Worth saying that this video also got a shout out from Zach on Twitter, who basically said that the last 10 minutes of this video is exactly what they were aiming for. So Frontier approved. Good job, Commander Exorcist. A couple more. We've got a video from Slamscape X on how to get started with bounty hunting. I don't think I put this one in. I haven't seen this one yet. It's good. Anyone know?
It was I. Yeah.
Cool.
So it starts off with like kind of what is bounty hunting, how to do it, how to equip your first ship, and then at the end there's a little montage because everybody gets a montage of bounty hunting.
Nice. Good. I shall watch that. That sounds great. Galnet News Digest have done the complete Azimuth saga video. Haven't watched this yet, but they've done a few of these in the past where they sort of do a recap.
Hour, and it's brilliant.
How long is it?
It's an hour. It's just shy of an hour. It is well worth your time. It's Pete being knowledgeable as Pete is so shit hot on the intricacies of what would let's be diplomatic and say what would construe as canonical and not quite so canonical. It's brilliant. It's Galnet News Digest, so it's brilliant, and it's also like a backdrop of such beauty. I don't think that Galnet News Digest get enough credit for the visuals. The visuals that they do, the backdrop, and where like all of the information is fantastic, but the backdrops and the visuals that Pete manages to get, like I can if I need something or if I need a particular image for anything in particular, I can ask Pete, and I swear to God, he's probably got it. It is brilliant. If you need anything, you can ask Wotherspoon for it. Yeah, watch the video. It's well worth you spending an hour of your time watching it. Big thumbs up. 2 thumbs up from Psychic.
Yeah, here. I mean, Pete is the Elite Dangerous Encyclopedia at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, nice. Oh, I'll definitely give that a watch. Cool.
Mm.
I feel embarrassed about putting the next video in, so I'm going to skip it. But it's in the show notes. I
Hey,
made a
there's
video.
There's a video that Alec Turner made, which has got some exterior footage of some SLV time trialing, and it's also bloody brilliant. What is it? What piece of music did you put on the outside?
It's got The Cure. Surprise,
Oh, well, that's
surprise.
interesting.
I made I was out doing some SRVing with Commander Skur, and he just happened to video a little time trial run of mine, and when I watched it back, it was rather wonderful actually. And then because I've got The Cure going round and round my head, I ended up slapping a Cure track on it. And sometimes because I just throw stuff together, and sometimes the way the music and the visuals just meshed was like, mwah, it's like, God, that's really nice. There's even some kind of synchronicity in the lyrics that is in a complete fluke. I think Robert Smith sings about looking up at the stars at one point, just as Skur pans up to look at me flying above him, and the backdrop is loads of stars. It's lovely. Anyway, I'll throw that in there. I was quite pleased with it. Buckyball time, I reckon, Claire. How are we doing?
Hello. Oh, well, right, okay. So I saw this in the show notes and went, oh bloody hell! I better do a post. It's Buckyball's finished.
Work in progress.
Well, no, okay, right. There's one result that came in, or one entry that came in that gave me a YouTube video like I requested, but the YouTube video, I click on it and I can't find it. So whether it can't find it. So whether it's a funny link or something. So one of them, there is a potential for the unlimited run to change at some point. That said, it was a fun race. I didn't realize quite how much of a troll I was being when I started the race. I'm glad I didn't add more shenanigans to it than I actually had. Alec, did you enjoy the race?
I loved it. A couple of things I particularly liked was I liked what you did with the bonus for flying shieldless. So in my race, the idea, you basically had to finish on 100% hull. I was quite cruel, and it was like, you need to do this perfect. Actually, I did give in, and I think I allowed people something if they got 99%.
I think it was 98 you allowed. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but I was pretty strict on it. I loved what you did, which was basically you either get like above 95, or if you fuck up halfway round, then you can go to the other extreme and try and bash it down to less than 10, which I did in so many of my runs. The first couple of landings, I'd feather it down 100%, feather it down 100%. And then on the third one, it'd be crunch and I'd be 94. It's like, bollocks, right? And all the rest of my landings, I'd be hammering it into the ground. Really
there was something really fun about hitting something and going, well, guess this is a minus 10% run then. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly that. And then the other thing that was a good troll was like the fact that you had to fly through this tunnel at insane speeds. But then literally the other side of the tunnel was this whirling mesh of gantries and aerials and things to smash into. So it's really funny.
Yeah, it was really fun. I'm glad I didn't do extra trolly things, because there was also the element that you had to get out and then do a point and then get back in and all of that nonsense. And I'm glad I didn't add extra things like I very, very nearly did like 30 seconds for not using night vision. I very, very nearly added that, and I'm glad I didn't, because I hit one particular aerial so many times coming out of that fucking hacienda that I might have rage quit the entire race and not submitted anything out on my own bloody race. But yeah, we've got a top 15 on both sides as at the moment. We are waiting for maybe one more on the unlimited board. I don't know necessarily that it's going to change the top 5. So without any further ado, I'm going to say the top 5, because I'm not in it, so I don't have to feel embarrassed by singing blowing my own trumpet. And number 5 on the regulation leaderboard with the Cobra, we have Sulu in 5th, Apathus in 4th, 3rd is Osric. 2nd is Kevin the Stabber, and in position 1 is Alec Turner. Never heard of him. Apparently, he's quite good at this race in malarkey. Well done, Alec.
Kevin.
And then on the unlimited side, in fifth, we have Sir Boundless. In fourth, Tobias von Brandt. In third, these names will be familiar to you. In third, we have Epaphras in an Imperial Courier. In second, we have Alec Turner, also in an Imperial Courier. And in first, I have seen this fucking race. In first, Shay Blackwood in a Viper, with a time that is so close to 15 minutes, which is absolutely bloody mental. It's also, I need to add that Shay's hull bonus, he didn't lose any hull whatsoever on this run.
Was it 100%?
This is an 100%. I believe so. I need to double check. I'm pretty sure I messaged someone this going, I don't understand how this has happened. And I've watched the whole thing, and I watched it twice. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It was really fun to run. And this is the first one when all of Shay's were, what the fuck? It was really fun to run. Get involved with buckyballing when we do the next one next year. Like, if you've got a race idea, do a race, because it's really fun, and I really like doing them. It's fun, especially with all the cool stuff that Brewski's done with the verification. That makes life so much easier.
That's good, isn't it? It takes a while to get it started, but once it's up and running, it's fantastic. What a legend. It was so useful to just be able to just like generate all of this without having to worry about it. Made my life a lot easier. Really good. Thanks, Brewski. Cool. Good stuff. Cool. This community corner's gone on, isn't it? One last thing. It's whatever. Nobody really cares. PitCon tickets on sale now. How exciting is that? There'll be a link in the show notes. But tickets for PitCon April next year at some hotel in Nottingham, I think. And it was bloody good last year, apparently, and I couldn't go. And I'm going this year. I've already bought my ticket. Couldn't go last year with a slight problem of broken arms. Oh, yeah. Don't do that again, Colin. Shit, was that last year? That was last year. Man. Oh, man, what a time to be alive. Well, I'm glad I am. Thank you very much. Yeah, very valid point. Considering that this week I was run off the road by the same taxi on the same trip, which was annoying. Right, anyway, if you have a community event taking place soon and you'd like us to talk about it across the airwaves, tweet the crew at Lave Radio or email us at info@laveradio.com, or Alec Turner will hunt you down. He will. Accurate phrase, isn't it? Yeah. I will find you. I will find you and tell the world about you. And if Alec doesn't find you, Chris or I will, and that's even worse. Let's have a quick glance at the in-game events. Well, nothing. So we'll just give a quick Thargoid War update. So, last week we had 1 alert, which was cleared. We had 8 invasions, which were cleared. The Thargoids control 229 systems, 15 of which have been cleared so far this week. And we've got 13 systems in recovery. Raji is still controlling 61 systems, but that number will tumble by Thursday. The estimate is that maybe the week before Ascension, or from the 17th onwards, the Titan will become vulnerable. Ooh. Imagine that. Power Ascension starts off and a Titan blows up at the same time. Sticker number 5. Here it comes. No, sticker enough to participate. Participation trophy. I'll just get my cloak off the rack just for the time being. Yeah, just get that 2 million and then walk away. Yeah, job done, innit? Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, it's that time of the week. Store alert! In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your arts. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your arts.
Excellent. Welcome back to the store alert. We have new ship skins for the Python, the Mamba, the Mass, the Asp Explorer, the Mamba, the Crate Mark II. The Mamba's mentioned twice here. It must be that good. And of course, the Crate Phantom. And it's called Shock. And they cost 6,000 darks each, which is about £3. I want one.
They're brilliant. I really like them.
Yes, I can't make up my mind which one I want, but I want them all. But that would cost a fortune.
I wish they had the ability to fully animate that shock. Do you know what I mean? And have it crackle from the nose to the tail. Amazing. But
they light up like pulse skins, right? Just to clarify.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Nuts.
So I'm tempted for the Crate Mark II. I really am. Because I'm not happy with my Crate Mark II. Mind you, I'm not happy with my Crate Mark II anyway, especially how it performed against the Thargoids and Shinatra Desra. But yeah, I might need to cheer myself up with a shocking skin.
I've just realised why they've released these is because they're doing their Stellar Screenshots competition again for Halloween.
Ah, of course. Yes, they just announced that, haven't they?
Yeah.
Which we forgot to mention.
All right, like it's only the first day of spooky season. We've got a whole another 4 weeks to talk about that.
Yeah, very true.
Really nice.
Any ones?
Didn't they do a white? Did they do a white one on as part of the drops for? What was that? Was that shock? Was that a white shock? Or as part of the drops for the
For the FU.
I missed the FU.
Yeah,
let me see if I can find them. I never redeem them, so it's probably just sat in my drops inventory anyway.
Pardon me.
They definitely, no, it was Stinger. It's that's very different. No, that's on me. That's entirely different. They never do like a light up skin as a drop. Sorry, my bad. It's very cute though. It's very nice.
Any particular ones you'd want? They obviously don't have on a Corvette, but
I mean, if I wasn't just saying that I was going to put my Crate Phantom to pasture now, Micah's going to become Micah out in pasture, and then I'm going to have Micah 2 as the my new Mandalay. If they did a Mandalay skin like this, I'd be all over it. But the Crate Phantom possibly is nice, but I mean, they're all really pretty. There's no denying that.
You can always put it on an Anaconda.
I don't have 6,000 ox. And you can't put it on an Anaconda because they don't have one on an Anaconda, do they?
Yes, they do.
Oh, no, they do! No, that's a Python. Python, Mamba, Crate.
Aspect Anaconda.
Hold up. I need to go to page 2.
Yes.
An Anaconda. Yeah,
I can see a photo of it on an Anaconda.
The Anaconda one's quite nice.
It is nice, isn't it?
Oh, that's weird.
What? It makes you... It makes it to look at
that looks quite nice on an Anaconda, but then you remember that it's an Anaconda.
Yeah.
Oh, what a weird feeling.
I know, I stripped my Anaconda with everything that was expensive to boost my credits because it was just taking up space, so I might as well just keep the ship and strip everything out of it. And
I'm buying an Anaconda for use of storing those 20 modules that we just got. But that's not going to really need to have the have a skin on it. To be honest, yeah, it needs a skin on it just to sort of sit in my hangar doing nothing. Because fucked if I'm going to fly it.
Yeah. Anyway, so thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm thumbs up on all of these, and I probably will be buying one. Yeah,
I quite like it. I do like it on the Python. I think the Python's got the right shape for the lightning bolt to kind of spread out, and some of them, the lightning bolts seem a bit truncated, and the Python's got the length to let the lightning bolt finish, so it looks really good.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's like sort of well, on Paint, when you've cut off a picture halfway through, and
Yeah.
you can see where it would have gone.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, and of course the Ruby paint jobs are still available if you want to buy one for $10,000.
When do they disappear?
End of the month, I think it is, isn't it?
It's just
Around
before
that?
Ascendancy.
Okay.
21st of October is the last time you can use them. I'll buy them, I think.
With my newfound Just About arcs, I might get some now.
Yeah, I've got one. I got a Ruby Cobra. But yeah. So I think we'll take a ad break, and then we'll come back with our main discussion.
Hey Commanders, this is Mick from Crazy Mick's Reptile Emporium and Warehouse. Due to a hysterical ordering mishap and not reading the fine print, I'm currently in possession of over 10,000 snakes, many of which are deadly, so everything must go. We have anacondas, asps, cobras, diamondbacks, fodlans, keelback, kraits, mambas, pythons, sidewinders and vipers, none of which are capable of spaceflight without being strapped to a rocket. Need a pet for your cockpit? Buy a snake. Need to scare your mother-in-law and give her a heart attack for the insurance money? Buy a snake. Need to fill a beluga full of snakes to assassinate a witness on their way to a Federation courthouse? Buy many snakes. Bulk discounts are available at Crazy Mick's Reptile Emporium and Warehouse. You can find us in the Lave Business Directory or visit us at the former site of Sensible Michael's Shipyard and Outfitting Warehouse. Will somebody get these mother snakes out of my mother warehouse?
Are you a commander who's tired of interstellar injustices? Do you find yourself constantly needing to express your displeasure? Look no further. Introducing the Manticore Pitchfork, crafted for the discerning commander who demands more than just a plasma gun to make their point. Made from ultra-durable, premium materials, these pitchforks are designed to handle even the most heated encounters with unruly aliens, malfunctioning droids, or pesky space pirates. Whether you're settling a dispute over asteroid mining rights or rioting about a non-compulsory feature, the Manticore Pitchfork has got you covered. With its sleek design and unbeatable durability, you'll be the envy of every commander in the galaxy. The Pitchfork will be in stores later this year, but if you cannot wait until then, you can get 3 months early access by visiting your nearest Frontline Solutions. Order today, and while stocks last, receive a free Displeasure Beacon. This lightweight handheld device combines all the functionality of a naked flame, but with 0 oxygen requirements. Now you can wield your torches in space, and even for a small fee, change their colour. The Manticore Pitchfork, when 280 characters aren't enough.
You're listening to Lave Radio, the hottest show this side of Dizzo.
And welcome back. Well, obviously the big thing that happened in the Frontier Unlocked was the Q&A about Powerplay and the fact that it's all coming on the 22nd of October. So, we've only got, 3 weeks or 4 weeks before we get the next update? 3 weeks, yes.
3.
So, first of all, they had who was the gentleman who turned up on the screen?
Curtis. It was
yes.
Curtis's video.
Yeah, Curtis went through some of the questions that were asked on the forum thread. Some of the more popular ones. And then there was a deep dive, well, not even a deep dive, there was more questions answered in a follow-up post. So, yeah. Let's quickly go around the team and see what they think about what's coming up, well, what has been revealed about Powerplay 2 so far. Who would like to go first?
Okay, I haven't got much to say actually, because I've never done power. I've done one lot of Powerplay just to get the Pack Cow missiles. So I really like that they have the way they've changed it so that you can get all the modules from every power but just in a different order, and it'll be intriguing to see how that works. But one of the big problems with Powerplay, obviously, is the whole point of Powerplay, in a sense, is that you're meant to pledge your allegiance. You're meant to pick a favourite, pledge your allegiance, and stay with them, and fight for them and do stuff for them, and that's kind of the point. And in fact, what happens is the exact opposite at the moment, which is that people pledge to get the shiny, and then immediately unpledge and pledge to the next one to get the next shiny, and so it's the exact opposite of kind of loyalty, which I think is one of the intentions. So by doing it that you can get all the modules from all of them over time, I think it's nice. I think people will end up possibly still pledging because of the first module that you get, assuming it's not random. But hopefully we'll then stay with we'll stay with that power and improve their rank or reputation or whatever it's called to get all the other modules. So I think that should work out really nice. My only other thought, funnily enough, I only had this today, is I almost feel like the whole presentation of Powerplay 2 would have gone across better if they'd done it the other way around. If they'd done the Q&A, so we had a little sense of what we were doing, and also maybe a sense that it's not that different from Powerplay 1, to be honest, except that we're doing BGS actions instead of pamphlets. But I think we would have had a sense of what Powerplay meant in terms of gameplay, and then shown us the live stream with the visuals. I don't know what you think, but I feel like it would have gone down much better in that order. Because the visuals were like, everyone was sort of too distracted with the visuals one about, but what is Powerplay? How does it work? And I think the other way around, it would have been really nice, actually quite satisfying. I don't know, I'm a bit meh about it generally, but I'll probably give it a go.
Fair enough. Okay. I'm going to ask Claire, do we need to have the soapbox ready?
No, I don't know necessarily that you do with Powerplay for me.
Okay.
I mean, I've got a couple of concerns. I'm very much of okay, let's have a look and see how it's going to actually work. When I'm happy to sort of kind of sit a little bit on. Sit in my concerns until I actually know I can see it implemented and see what's going on. I've got a couple of concerns about the UI being not as clear as before, and that being an accessibility thing, but we know how shit Elite is just generally as far as like giving those people who have difficulty distinguishing colours an opportunity that we shouldn't have to download a third-party app to change colours. But that's I've had that conversation. That's a soapbox thing. I think it's really, really funny that people were upset with the fact that some people, vociferous people, were upset with the fact that Frontier said, it's not going to be open only at launch, and were questioning the validity, shall we say, of that sentence being, we're not going to do it at launch. Well, stop fucking us about, stop playing with us. We're big people, we're big boys, we can take it. And my initial reaction to that is, well, if you'd stop acting like children, they wouldn't. But what else would they? How else would you prefer that to be phrased? They're not going to be doing it at launch. They're not fully ruling it out. They've heard of a loud amount of the community going, please, can we make Powerplay open only, or make it weighted favourably towards players who are open only. But that said, they're not looking at doing that straight away. There's nothing to say that might change in the future, or if it does, if it doesn't, that kind of thing. Great. Okay. Word it differently, you fucks. See how it works out. For God's sake. It felt like such a mundane thing to be upset about. This is something that Frontier have decided. So, live with it, make the right noise in the right places rather than being angry, like being full of salt about it. Make your case in the right places. They've definitely spoken to a lot of different groups and different people before implementing something along these lines. This isn't something that they've just pulled out of their asses. This is clearly something that they've been thinking about for a really long time. Because we had Darren on the show and he was talking about the fact that he's been doing it for a long time and planning this for a really long time. We had Darren on the show after he'd left Frontier, months after he'd left Frontier, coming on to say, I was working on this while I was with Frontier. This isn't something that they've written up in a day. So kind of want to say, trust the process, let them cook a little bit and then see what happens off the back of it. But also, my concerns come from my player group being, or my squadron being affiliated to a faction that is in very much in a bed of a superpowers area that I don't necessarily want to see Ashling's posters all over my walls, but I can't see it not being a case that happens. So part of me is just like, well, I'm not there all the time. There's lots of other things to do in the galaxy, so I guess I'll just live with it. But my only concern is how aggressive Ashling supporter NPCs are as far as like random interdictions are going to be concerned when I'm flying back to my home station through Ashling space. And that's probably where the Mandalay is going to come in with this massive jump range so I can start outside Ashling space and just get there. But that's my one concern. But I'm also happy to just sort of sit and wait. The only other concern that the only other like minor niggle that I have is that if Frontier were putting all of their eggs in this Powerplay basket, and spoiler alert, our question of the week was about Powerplay. And normally we get quite a few likes. We get a couple of likes and retweets, but also we get a substantial amount of answers about it. And the question was kind of open-ended. What do you feel about Powerplay? And we did not get that many responses. And my concern is that Frontier haven't done enough to make players interested.
Yeah.
And if they're putting all of their eggs in that basket, then it could be problematic.
Yeah, I can see where you're getting that. I think that stems mostly from the fact that Powerplay version 1 had such a bad reputation. People, yeah.
100%. And then but the onus there, it's not on us as players to interpret this as oh, wow, this is definitely something I want to get involved with. It's the onus is for us, for Frontier to make us be excited about it. And at the moment, with 3 weeks to go and not another Frontier unlocked between now and Ascendancy being being released. Also, the fact that it's called Ascendancy sounds really fucking cool and epic, and I don't know if that matches the vibe.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That is.
It's supposed to be the powers in Ascendance.
Yeah, great. That's your interpretation, Colin.
I didn't quite like the last update. Was it just called the Type 8 update?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so it's very literal. So I was quite surprised that this update wasn't called the Powerplay update. It was called Ascendancy, like something amazing was about to happen.
Unless it also, this is Salvation coming back in his big Guardian mech suit as the god of the Guardians.
Well, that would be fun.
Unless they shoehorn that in as well.
Ben.
Yeah, I think my concerns are very similar to Claire's. That, yeah, I've got real worries at the moment that events like we did for the 40th, where we have a bunch of people from a bunch of different factions, all gathering at Lave, and we're all gathering at Lave, we're all behaving ourselves. But if Joe is pledged to faction A and Bob is pledged to faction B, and Mahon's jackboots thugs come in, are they just going to come in and ruin the party because we've got people who are pledged to? We've got people coming into the station to come and have fun with us, but are they going to get shot at? If they get interdicted en route, that's kind of one thing. But if they come into the station's space whilst we're hanging out and just having fun, that worries me a lot. And I think it's very, very telling that out of the four of us, 3 of us don't seem to be really that engaged with Powerplay, even after Frontier have been trying to sell it to us.
Well, that's Claire's point. They haven't really been trying to sell it to us.
No, but they have to,
But
Colin.
they should have been trying
They focused their elite sections on one thing and then Powerplay for the last 3 weeks or the last 3 FUs, rather than the elite moment that they have each time has touched on Powerplay. And they wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't in an attempt to make us interested. And the only the only like feeling that I have about it is this going to like affect me in a way that is going to make me unlikely to want to play as much Elite? Do you know what I mean? And I don't know if that's necessarily what they went for.
Right. We'll bring in Chris here as well, because Chris wants to have a say about this.
Yeah. So after listening to the few and reading the extra doc stuff that they put out, I thought it's going to have Odyssey missions was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought I wasn't actually, oh my god, Odyssey's getting something. Finally.
Yes.
But I have the big worry around the PP police as well, that if the squadron that I'm a part of has to pledge to Aisling because there's no other option, and I want to pledge to the Alliance, am I going to get shot at every time I go home? Because that's going to get really annoying after a while.
Right. Okay. I need to point one thing out. If you the way that it works in the existing system, it doesn't matter if your squadron is aligned with a power. It's you personally have to pledge. So if you are in a squadron that just happens to be aligned with, say, Orisa the Emperor, but you're not actually aligned with Orisa the Emperor, the Powerplay police will leave you alone.
Okay, so if the system is exploited by Aisling emotionally and for its mineral rights, and then I fly in and I'm like, yeah, I'm part of the Alliance, is her special police going to turn up and start shooting me? Because the way they worded it was pretty much, oh yeah, there's now Powerplay police and they'll shoot you if you're not part of the Friends.
No.
And I'm like, I don't want to be shot by the police, please.
You will only be shot if you are flying for an opposing power. If you
that's
come
what
in,
he's saying, though.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
I'd
he's
be
saying.
pledged for somebody in the Alliance, whoever,
well, in that case, yes. In that
That's
case,
going to get old real fucking quick.
because like if I don't do anything, I can kind of see where it's coming from. I suppose I'm technically invading, even though I'm on holiday. I don't know. That just seems a bit of a.
Why
weird...
are you pledged to the Alliance in this scenario?
This is
the Alliance more than anything else.
Yeah, but you're not pledged to the Alliance. You're either pledged to Mahan or whoever the other person is.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, you don't have to be pledged to anyone. So by pledging to the Alliance, you're choosing to play this game of Powerplay.
Yeah,
and so I don't think you get to be pissed off when the opposing power attacks you, because that's part of the game you've chosen to play.
But I only want to be pledged to a power so I get the shiny items.
Well,
I don't want.
No, that's the thing.
I want the no. Let's just say hypothetically, I want to get
I get it, but I also get that you're playing it wrong.
I want Prismos, and I don't want to dick about waiting. So I guess what I can do now is, because they've said that there isn't going to be a you don't lose your pledge level anymore. I guess I can just play the system like that, and just when I want to do a buckyball race, I'll just drop my pledge and not worry about it anymore. So that's how I'll get around it this time. Doesn't feel like I'm engaging any. Oh, I felt the soapbox then. I genuinely did feel the soapbox again for a moment. Warm it up for me, just a sec. Perfect, brilliant. Sorry. Yep, I'm ready. I'm good.
With a motorized soapbox.
Listen, Sometimes, what do you think? We have the little flashing lights over the top of it. We bought those flashing lights. We've got to have it motorized. But we have like.
That's just give me an idea for an orbital pants. I'm putting on a motor.
There we go. So we have this. That's going to be my the level of my engagement with Powerplay now is going to be leveling up until I'm like level 10. Or until I unlock all of the shit that I get, and then whenever I want to do something, just unpledge from it, and then pledge back when I want to get my shit. Is that how Frontier want me to play it?
Hey, can I just on that point? So I know they said there's no like decay, like your reputation doesn't decay
until you unpledge.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think that what that means is if you stay pledged but don't do anything, you don't slowly fall back. But I think if Claire decides to actually unpledge, then her reputation is going to decay, surely.
I'm pretty sure they didn't say that. I'm pretty sure they said like switching powers, you have to start again. But I'm pretty sure they said, you could just drop from a power, and it wouldn't. Unless you signed up to another one, you wouldn't lose your rank with the current power. Is that not right?
Don't know. I'd be surprised if that was how it was, but you might be right.
It's gonna fuck Buckyball. We can't do Buckyball in any exploited systems anymore because
it's to another power, that is.
Yeah, so like if I want a Buckyball, I'd have to be unpledged with someone. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it all depends on whether or not you want to be pledged.
So,
Colin, these Powerplay police.
Yes.
How much of a nuisance are they? They try and interdict you occasionally.
Right. Now, I'm going to have to explain this from the Powerplay perspective because everybody's thinking, Powerplay is going to encroach on my gameplay. When to tell you the truth, as soon as you sign up as Alex said, as soon as you signed up for those shiny modules, that's it. You are involved in Powerplay, whether you like it or not. The first thing, the reason that you're not affected by it in the current version is because the Powerplay police only come after you if you're carrying leaflets or you have a Powerplay bounty against you. That's when they only come after you, and they'll come out after you in the standard way. They're not the present system. It's not the really hard police people who turn up. It's people of your equivalent level.
Yeah.
Now, the whole point of this is to mitigate. When they said it's not open only, the main reason people wanted it open only is because in the other two modes there was no challenge. You could do anything in Powerplay, really, in any system, and the Powerplay police would not come after you. It was very rare that they did. I mean, I originally signed up to Powerplay hoping that I'd be fighting my way to an opposing or a place to deliver leaflets or whatever MacGuffin it was, in order to gain more combat rank and have a fun experience. But that didn't happen. And the only way that Powerplay really worked was in open mode, which is why a lot of people got really annoyed, saying that, look, it's only working in open. That's why we want open only, because we don't want because we want that kind of experience. And by that time, the only other people playing in solo, and the majority, because I can't say everybody, but the majority of people who were playing in solo and private were not wanting to get involved with Powerplay as such. There was mostly just to get the modules or to cheat the system. But normally fifth columnists or bots, they were always in private and solo. So from that point of view, the reason for the increase of activity of the Powerplay police is because it's to level the playing field so that it doesn't matter if you're in open, private, or solo, you will get a similar threat. And that's what Powerplay was supposed to be. Initially, that put me off Powerplay because it was the same issue with, that means if I've pledged to Mahan, that means I'll be under threat on any other system. And that's true. But that's what you get when you sign up for Powerplay. That it's a case of it's not a case of there you go, sign up for Power. I just hang around for 3-4 weeks and then get the modules. No, you got to work for it, and they're going to make you work for it this time instead of people delivering the leaflets or effectively delivering the leaflets in solo without any challenge to them, and that was it. Easy modules.
Right, but the police could still come after you in solo, right? The Powerplay police. Now,
yes, that's right.
We've gone from having normal police, we've gone to American police who will just shoot you on sight.
Well,
seems a bit of a, jump.
Yeah, but
really.
That's because you've signed up for an opposing power.
Yeah, but I'm doing I might have signed up for I've signed up for Aisling, but I don't. If I've signed up for Aisling to get whatever the fuck benefits are with Aisling, still don't know, but or with anyone, let's be honest. But hey,
yeah,
Alex started a buckyball race, but this buckyball race that Alex been setting up is in Mayon's space or any other non Aisling space or whoever she's angry with at this moment. I'm going to go over that. I really love to take part. I'm not doing anything to do with Powerplay. I just like to go over and take over that buckyball race. Now, the information that has been presented to me says, hey, Claire, if you've been pledged to Aisling, you're pledged to Aisling right now, but because you're going into Mayon space and you've got a tracker which says, hey, that blue air, you got to think of that blue air and it looks really cool and stuff.
Sticker,
so
I support Aisling on the back.
Yeah, I support Aisling with a little blue heart next to it. I bought it because the blue heart reminded me of Garrus and it was a good moment. But I end up in Mayon space. Am I going to get her interdicted? And this is a question that Frontier haven't answered.
It is,
in my opinion.
Yeah, and in my opinion, that's exactly what will happen, which is why my main account would never pledge to any power, but I do have a separate account just for Powerplay, and that's how I play Powerplay.
And the other thing that I kind of want to know is, can you, well, I don't know at the moment, but do you think in the future, your individual commander can pledge differently than their squadron?
Yeah, 100%. That's always been the case.
Yeah, that's always been the case. Just because your squadron's pledged to Aisling doesn't mean that you are.
What you're suggesting, and Shay puts that really nicely in chat, is that you're now saying to me that I can choose to either do Powerplay or I can do everything else.
And that has been the thing about Powerplay from the very beginning.
Well, in which case, that's an awful lot of very precarious eggs for Frontier to be putting in a basket. And this new feature that's coming that they're going to talk about at the end of the month better be fucking incredible and not mention Powerplay at all in the slightest.
It sounds to me as if, and I got this impression from the loose screws as well, people have given up on Powerplay before even trying it.
Well, you just told me to, basically. You've told me to either do it. No, you've told me that your account, you've got an account specifically put for Powerplay, but your main isn't going to engage in Powerplay at all. But you've got one account that you use solely for Powerplay. So let's pretend that I don't have 9 accounts and I've only got one. No, but you've literally what you've just told me, Colin. You said either I choose an account to engage with Powerplay and only use that account with Powerplay and then use my main to do everything else. But say I'm Billy one account. Say I've only got one account. I haven't picked up any other account other than my psychic account for a really long time. So you're telling me that I have now to make that decision whether or not I'm going to do whether I'm going to do Powerplay or not with this one account. And everything that everyone has told me is no.
Right. I'm only telling you what I've gleaned from the notes that we've had so far.
We might have to wait and see. I mean, you're right, Colin.
I feel that it's fair to take this out on me. Okay.
No, I'm not taking it out on you. I'm just saying what you've just explained to me is that you've got one account that solely does Powerplay and one account that does everything else. And
Yes.
I don't have time to like engage a second account with just Powerplay. So I guess I'm just not going to do it.
The
Well, then I guess that's what's going to happen, and I guess that's what's going to happen with a lot of people.
I think we'll have to wait and see. We don't know how aggressive these police are going to be and how much of a nuisance they're actually going to be. So,
Yeah, because
but
the biggest problem I'm going to have is I like doing tourist missions, and they go everywhere. Like, I've got no idea who's in charge of any, system, because you go 4 or 5 different ones. I can't pledge.
The other thing is, it is optional. You don't have to do
But
it.
it's like the big thing that they put effort into, and if I do that, I have to give up doing tourist missions pretty much because of, the multiple different powers I could go through. And people get upset when they get their tourist, ship shot at. I don't know why, but they do. So for me, I'm probably going to be out.
I'm kind of hearing, because I'm with Claire. I think I'm actually with everybody apart from Colin here. In that although I have a few accounts, I basically only ever play as my main. And I do very, very little on my alt accounts. And I've got no desire really to do anything on my alt accounts either.
Yeah, I have no alts.
Yeah, if I wanted to engage in Powerplay, it would be as a Levice. And that would essentially mean if I wanted to engage in Powerplay, I'd have to be engaging in Powerplay all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm kind of thinking
this is...
Well, can I just finish what I'm thinking?
Yeah, okay, quickly.
What I'm kind of thinking would be very, very handy, and how hard can it be? Would be, okay, what I am doing just now, I am doing in the name of Powerplay. What I am doing just now, I'm doing in the name of me. Almost like a flag that says, this is basically contributing to Powerplay, and that's, essentially is like a PvP flag, or whatever the hell you want to call it.
An option to take the bumper sticker off.
Yeah. I want a magnetic bumper sticker. I don't know if that would even be a solution if you could do that, but it feels like it might be.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the thing that my observation is that people still want the modules, but without actually playing the game with the Powerplay restriction.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Colin? Yeah, they do.
Because that's the whole point.
I would get rid of the modules as well, frankly.
Yeah, I'm quite happy. I'd love to be able to engage in it, but if it's going to stop me doing other things, if it's going to stop me buckyballing in a Mahon spot or whoever someone else is pissed off with, then I'd much rather play the rest of the game than dedicate my account to just doing Powerplay.
Okay, please pass your feedback back to Frontier.
Fucking will, man. But we are a podcast that talk about Elite, so I figured that would be this might be the time. might be the time. I'm sorry. I'll calm down now.
Right. So
what do other people think?
Yes, the questions of the week, which is how they felt about Powerplay, and is there anything else you'd like to know?
And we had so few responses because apparently no one gives a fuck. Elvis Kremen responded saying, might sign up to LYR again. PP's not something he usually bothers with. The changes might get him back into the game the same way that the BGS did. He needs to see who the new PP 2.0 leaders are and what goodies they offer. If there's new weapons / modules, they might be worth grabbing.
Interesting, although the thing where everybody offers all the modules means that a new leader doesn't imply a new goodie. Just a different order of the existing goodies.
Yeah, I think you start off with the initial ones that they offer, and then you can spread it out to the rest of them. But yeah.
Tatiana says, I'm interested to see who they're bringing in as new Powerplay people and how that's tied into the story. Also, it'd be cool to see what new goodies they have. I don't know if I'll get into PP 2.0 yet. There's enough to keep me busy in the game at the moment without it. Yeah, interesting. I don't think there's going to be new goodies.
No, I think it'll be re-engineered new, just the existing ones.
Yeah.
With the existing ones, but they'll all be on like different cycles. So like if you pledge to Ashling, it's probably you're likely to get Prismos first and something else like right at the end, rather than and then pledge to someone else and you'll get whatever their shit is. I don't think we're going to get like any on-foot extras or anything like that.
Can I clarify something? Because I heard a couple of people mention this as well. So they've confirmed the one new alliance power that we're going to get at launch, right? Yeah. Have they also implied that there will be more, or there's a few people sort of not so much Katiana, but a few people I've heard sort of assuming there will be more, and I didn't really hear anything from Frontier that made me think there was going to be any more.
Let me refer you to the Powerplay 2.0 Q&A on the EliteDangerous.com website, linked in the show notes, with the question, will new powers be added? Powers, plural.
That's in the question, though, right? So the S comes from the community there, yes?
Yeah, I imagine so. Will new powers, plural, be added? Answer, yes, exclamation point. So one can only assume with a plural there, one can only assume that there's going to be more than one.
Oh wow, I'm not taking anything from that. I mean, that S comes from the community, and Frontier are just reading it and going, "Yes, there's going to be a new power."
Not necessarily. They're not directly responding to a
it's
a
not like
forum
Frontier
post.
to be clear and respond and go, "Oh, I don't know."
Well,
I'm not taking
if people are
anything
going
from
to if people are going to kick off about whether or not they say it's not going to be open only at launch, I'm surprised not more people have kicked off about powers being added. Well,
okay,
I mean,
so
we
there's a possibility that there might be more. Okay, fair enough.
Possible, probable.
Colin.
Yes, I have Commander Profane Pagan here. He says, I'm fairly happy with the news. I know we haven't seen nothing yet, even though we know what they've been cooking for the last few years. Are we going to get a year's worth of written narrative? Happy to hear they're planning to fine-tune and enhance this game module post-release the same way they did with the Thargoid War. Openly only instances would be nice to have one day because of some of the gameplay features, i.e. defending a carrier group lies on it. I'm not sure whether it does, but the only thing I would like to have is an honorary counter of the days I have spent as a follower of a power. I've been following Winters now for more than 108 weeks, and only evidence of my personal achievement will be a screenshot that I'll take before Ascendancy drops.
Good point.
You almost want like what is it when you go off and you deliberately go and reset your level to level 1 again?
Insanity, full insanity.
Oh, prestige.
Prestige, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, you want 108 weeks of prestige or something.
Yeah, interesting. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point as well, I think. Right, Epsilon Orbital saying, I've never messed with Powerplay, but admittedly, I do kind of like the new features that allow you to control a power's effort. I'll definitely put some time into it. As long as you don't have something else to do.
Oh, yeah, just in case. Commander Schnails says, I'm just waiting for the last Titan to fall, and then I plan to take a very long wander to Colonia. I mean, I'd watch Colonia via, who knows? It'll be the long way round, though. So Powerplay 2.0 isn't likely to be something I get involved with anytime soon, but I'll be keen to hear how it's been going for a time in the future when I do wander back to the bubble. Watch it. The Toggo's in Colonia. Tweet said it was.
I have Nicey. Given the whole other powers police will attack on sight thing, I might steer clear of it for a while, at least until we get a feel of how it works. I don't know about you, but I prefer not to get shot at. Besides, it seems like the whole bubble will be on an expedition in the new Mandalay after the last Titan goes boom. So, yeah.
Commander Nails, not to be confused with Commander Schnails.
No.
I want to know more about the power police mentioned in Unlocked. Don't we all? Don't we all? If I'm constantly getting jumped by them, even when not engaged in PP work, then I will be unpledging and not returning. Gosh, I hope Frontier are listening to this. There's an awful lot of nervousness about this, isn't there?
100%, yeah.
Right, and I'm sure I've been given this name deliberately.
Fela Kuti.
Okay, not Fela Kuti. Not Fela Kuti then.
I'm pretty sure it's Fela Kuti.
Okay, I'll say Fela Kuti then. Is saying, it was clear to me that PP 2.0 will have more graphical than gameplay changes.
No,
Even
not
so,
true.
No, disagree.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is what they think.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, I recognize and happily accept any effort to give dynamism to the game. My only question is if it's everything okay with David. If it's everything okay with David Braben, because he hasn't said anything publicly about Elite's 40th anniversary. I'm assuming they mean is everything okay with, but I'm not sure.
I think so too.
Anyway, I'm just hoping that Frontier understand that there is a gold mine hidden behind this game. They just need to stretch their necks and look for the community. May more and more things come.
The gold mines, okay. I'd love to, can I talk about this for like 2 seconds? I know we're getting quite late. Braben's moved on. I'm sure he's fine. But it was 40 years ago when Elite came out, and he might not have to acknowledge it. I'm sure he's okay. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. The gold mine is the ships. With the best will in the world.
The gold mine's the sandbox of the game.
The sandbox of the game, and the ability to print money comes from creating amazing ships. And we'll know if that was successful if they do the same next year with more ships.
Very true.
Can I just say something before we finish up?
No,
I've got
fuck
something
you.
to say
Oh,
as
please,
well.
it's a lovely thing. It's a lovely
Ben.
thing. Let's really spice Powerplay up, bringing Surgeon A back as a Thargoid power, and that's from Nails.
No. She's not keen. She ain't keen on it.
Yeah, and then you want a salvation as the guardian power, and then it all blows up. The one thing that I do have to take issue with about this is saying how more graphical than gameplay changes. As far as the Powerplay meta game's concerned, you know how the systems shift in allegiance, that is going to be a lot more dynamic under this new system.
I hope so.
Just reading the mechanic, the present Powerplay system at the moment is locked and frozen. Nobody can undermine or knock out any other power or reduce the systems of any other power or invade, really. And it's been that way for 3 years.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I am happy about the mechanics on this, as a Powerplay player, is that I can see this what has been a static map changing very rapidly after it starts.
That does sound really cool because, you know, when the original Powerplay first dropped, although it wasn't necessarily for me, my sort of lasting memory of it was the bubble map, you know, the galaxy map showing the different powers bubbles. And sort of thinking in my mind how a time lapse of that would be fascinating to see all these bubbles ebbing and flowing, and you know, a little bit like a lava lamp or something. I was thinking, oh, that'd look amazing to see that all moving. And then to hear that it didn't and it all ground to a halt is like, well, that's a fail in Powerplay 1. So if it's great to hear, Colin, that you think they've.
Okay, quickly, Chris. Chris, Mark 5.
I've got nothing. I don't want to say anything.
Right.
I read that as you being sarcastic.
Can I not say something?
Yeah.
I hope it is like that, and I hope it is dynamic, and I hope it's not people in Discords negotiating stuff before people do stuff. I hope it transfers all of that negotiation that happens in people's Discords and that kind of like the bits that make people super feel of this sense of self-importance. I hope that gravitates towards the game, and I hope you really, really enjoy that. Those of you who
Well,
Those
this
of
is,
you who engage.
I think the main problem is if you can switch off the pledge and then restart the pledge from where you started from, then I think that would solve 90% of the problems.
It would, and that would answer who was it who wanted like a sort of on-off switch, like a
Yeah,
temp.
that was me.
Oh, was it Ben's idea?
I'd be
Yeah,
down for that as well, especially if we're doing buckyball
would
racing
solve
and
that,
stuff.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Take
Right.
a
Yeah,
number
but
six
also
off,
that
we're
kind
good.
of like takes the piss a little bit.
Guys, right. I've got to now do this in super quick time. Any other business? Catch the Chris Mark 4 on Black Diamond FM every Sunday from 12 till 2. I almost said 4 then. He did a really great interview with the Edinburgh funk band High Fade that you can listen via this link in the show notes. Also, in addition to that, we have the Dex Legacy Season 3 Kickstarter, a link to the show notes in there as well. So our shout-outs, of course, to our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio. It broadcasts on a Thursday from 8:30, and you can tune in at twitch.tv Hutton Orbital Truckers, or just the audio at radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. Giving shout outs to the other Elite Dangerous podcasts, which are The Guard Frequency and The Loose Screws. I love all of you Loose Screws equally, except for Commander Chig. You can go eat maggot cheese.
I think you should put a bounty out on him.
Yeah. And of course, if you speak French,
I just let the funky music do the talking.
there is Elite Dangerous podcast as well. So following on this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude, and there is that hour-long special on the history of the Thargoid War. And special thanks to all those who've chipped in the Twitch chat and the in-game commanders. Ben, have we had any?
Yeah, we've had Commander Vrawn, Soka42, Nails, and Shadowed Soul 13 have been joining me around the bar this evening.
Excellent. Special thanks, of course, to Commander Tokuso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have created music that's used on the show. But that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find the contact links at home/contact us menu on the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So thanks to Ben.
Thanks, Colin. Good night.
Thanks to Claire.
I choose everything else. Cheers.
Thanks to Alec.
Thanks all. Nice to be back.
And of course, special thanks to today's tech specialist and occasional contributor, Chris Mark 5.
You're welcome.
So, until next time's commanders, fly safe. And if you can do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted. Need a safe word.
Space can be lonely.
I'm going to see the galaxy.
Galnet News Digest, 1st of October 3310. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, the galactic powers get ready for a political shake-up. Shinrarta repairs are coming along nicely. And we wonder what's happened to the eternally missing Eternal Vigilance.
We finally reached October 3310, the month in which Felicia Winters gets to be president, the month in which Nakato Kane finally stands up to the Prime Minister, the month in which Zemina Torval probably takes over as Chancellor and gives the Emperor another headache. There are changes for commanders too. At last it makes sense to pledge to a power and stay pledged. Pledging for a month just to get the modules will be a thing of the past. All the powers will have all the modules to hand out to their loyal subjects, although the order in which you gain access to them will vary from one power to the next. There's no loss of status if you can't help your chosen power out for a while. Once you've attained a rank, it's yours forever, unless you choose to defect. You'll lose your existing pledge when Powerplay 2.0 goes live, so perhaps that's an opportunity to reassess whether you really want to be pledged to Zachary Hudson after all. Actually, that decision will be taken for you because Hudson is retiring to be replaced by his protégé Jerome Archer, who believes a police state is preferable to freedom. Pledgees, the powers will reward their loyal pledgers with engineering materials and other lovely things in regular care packages. There may be biscuits and marmalade in these care packages, although we are unable to confirm the details at present. If you do pledge to a power, you'll need to be aware more than ever that the factional private security forces will be after you if you rock up at their controlled systems. Just because you don't have a criminal record doesn't mean they won't be taking an interest in you. Powerplay 2.0 coming to a galaxy near you in about 3 weeks, assuming there are no last-minute hitches.
With the speedy removal of invading Thargoids from the Pilots Federation headquarters Shinrarta Desra, the clean-up operation is reportedly going well. Engineer Laurie Jameson's base, which for some unfathomable reason is called Jameson Base, is one of the many facilities needing repair, which is facilitated by supplying repair commodities such as fish. It's expected that Lightweight Lorry will be open for business again on Thursday, along with most, if not all, of the other bases in the system. Jameson Memorial was fully operational last week, presumably by force of willpower. Commanders who have a temporary permit to Shinrarta have until Thursday to buy from the full range of discounted modules on offer. Those who took part in the effort to drive out the Thargoids were well rewarded, with everyone seemingly getting at least 3 sets of modules, including those rather lovely heatsinks. Elastic storage was used to make sure that even if your module storage was full, you could still be awarded these extra modules. It seems that the Thargoids have given up on their plans to attack the heart of humanity and are instead back around Raijin and Kokijo, doing Thargoidy things and not getting in the way of the best outfitting in the galaxy.
The Azimuth megaship Eternal Vigilance allegedly entered service on the 8th of December 3308. This was a busy time for the galaxy, with the Kokijo and Oya Titans arriving near the bubble, so it's perhaps not surprising that this brand new megaship, created by the hard work of commanders supplying resources to the megaship Musashi in one drama in the week leading up to 10th of November 3308, didn't turn up for another month. The surprising bit is that even after its deployment to the T-Tauri system was announced, the megaship was entirely absent from that system, or indeed anywhere else. It's the only megaship in the history of the galaxy that managed to vanish before it had even appeared. Azimuth Biotech has expressed no surprise that its megaship hasn't quite been actually delivered to them nearly 2 years after the shipbuilders said it was in the post, so Perhaps it was a massive tax write-off, or perhaps, just perhaps, it's operating in secret somewhere in the galaxy, commanded by the disembodied AI reanimation of Salvation, the reportedly extremely dead one-time head of Azimuth. Perhaps he'll be back to haunt us just in time for Halloween.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.